Hey, this is Brian. Thanks for watching Kies. In today's video, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to install Dinan's rear suspension kit, which encompasses the trailing arm and also the toe link on an F90 M5. Now, as you can see behind me, we do have the car up on the lift, and that's to give you guys the best camera angle possible. If you're doing this at home, you're just going to use something like a jack and a jack stand, unless you happen to have a lift in your garage. So the first part of the process is you need to get the car off the ground a little bit and then remove the wheels. With that, let's head underneath. All right, we're going to start with the toe link. Over here, we have a 21mm bolt that needs to be removed. And there's also an 18mm bolt over here. Now, although you should be careful and there is a little tension under here, we do this without supporting anything else because the tension is very minor. Proceed at your own risk. Make sure to use some common sense and just be very cautious when you're doing this because there is a little pressure. So let's start back here with the 18mm. We'll remove this bolt over here and then we'll move on to the 21. So as you can see, very little tension. So again, that's why we don't support this. So now that that's out, let's remove the 21mm. Now, when it comes to the toe link, these are designated for a right and a left-hand side. If you take a look over here, one of these sides has a bevel and that is going to fit right in here into the knuckle. So you're just going to insert this end up here and this side here, and then we can reinstall the bolts, but we're not going to torque them until the very end. Now, we are going to review what the torque specs are later on in the video, but whenever you're installing control arms and whatnot on vehicles, you need to set the torque at the proper ride height. Otherwise, you can mess up the bushings and whatnot. So what we're going to do is we are going to continue on with the other three arms. And then at the end of the video, we're going to put the wheels back on the car. We're going to have the car at proper ride height. And then we're going to show you how to do a final torquing. Then before we can do the trail arm, we need to remove this 10mm, which is attached to this sensor. Then you can remove this 18mm nut and bolt over here. And then there's another 18mm nut and bolt over here. Same thing is the back arm. There's a little bit of tension, but not a tremendous amount. So proceed with caution. All right, so then you can install your trail arm. What we recommend doing is getting the bolt situated in the rear first, and that's going to help everything get properly installed. As you can see, we're putting the bolt in the other way because when BMW put your car together, well, it was all apart and it was so much easier to get to. Now, as stated in the directions, you may have a situation where your brake line mount is going to touch. It's only going to touch when the car is in the air and the wheels are hanging down, but what you can do, it's just a very thin metal bracket that bends with ease, and you won't have that issue anymore. Now, since we don't have to worry about the positioning, we can torque this little bolt down to 8 Nm. Then once you're done on the passenger side, we're going to do the exact same thing on the driver's side. All right, first up, we need to torque this bolt. I did have to cut a socket to do this. You could also use like a crow's foot or something like that, so you don't have to do that. But this 21mm bolt is going to get torqued down to 165 Newton meters. All right, then you can do the exact same thing on the passenger side of the car. Then this 18mm bolt gets torqued down to 100 Newton meters. Then this 18mm bolt is going to get torqued down to 100 Newton meters. And then finally, this other 18 is also going to get torqued down to 100 Newton meters. Then you can repeat everything on the opposite side. All right, so overall, the process to install these is actually pretty easy. The most important thing is to have something like race ramps or a 4-post lift so that you can properly torque everything down. But with that said, not only do they look great, but they're also going to help the car feel more planted and stable when you're braking and accelerating. So all around, a great option for an F90 M5. If you're interested in any of the parts or tools we used in today's video, see the links down in the description where you're also gonna find other cool videos on my dad's F90 M5. Once again, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching Kies. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.